Welcome to Vital Organs, paramount to the physical, mental, and spiritual well being. I'm Nate, and welcome to my podcast. This season is titled Issues of the Heart. We will be focusing on how we protect our hearts and making sure that we are fulfilling its desires. You're listening to Vital Organs, the podcast. Welcome to episode 1 titled Shh, 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 Shh. Just listen. Everyone wants to be the best in whatever they do, but the only form of measurement for many people is to compare what they have to what someone else has or lacks. Society has trained our minds to compare our lifestyles, our families, our friends, our careers, and more to that of others. And throughout life, I've come to the realization that I am my only competition, and the best form of measurement for me is to compare me to me. In 1990, I turned 2 years old. My parents celebrated their 4th wedding anniversary, and in that same year, my dad was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. For those of you unfamiliar with multiple sclerosis, or MS, the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation defines it as an unpredictable disease of the central nervous system that disrupts the flow of information within the brain and between the brain and the body. It causes problems with your vision, your balance, muscle control, and other basic body functions. When I was in 6th grade, my dad's mobility began to decline, and eventually he lost his job and his ability to walk. The dad that I have known for the first 12 years of my life was no longer going to be that dad I was going to experience in the future. My dad's inability to walk and function as what we call a normal dad made me sit down at a young age and listen to what my heart was telling me it needed in order to continue to function effectively. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I refused to allow that pressure to stop my heart. I wanted to make sure my mom had everything she needed and that my dad had the support, which required a lot from my mom, sisters, and myself as we adjusted to this new normal. And I put my needs on hold. I remember when I was in 5th grade, I received my first F on my report card. My grades continued to slip, and because of what I was going through at home, my focus was no longer about school. It was about the well-being of my parents. Once 6th grade came around, my grades continued to fail to the point my parents thought that I had a learning disability, and they requested that I get an evaluation to see if I had a disability. Turns out I didn't. After the testing, it came to light that I was actually way above grade level. I was reading at an 8th grade level in 6th grade, and we'll just leave it there. During this season in life, I was no longer listening to my heart. I was comparing my upbringing and family dynamics to how my friends' families operated. I was comparing my grades to my classmates. I was comparing the workload of life to people that have a totally different lifestyle than what I did. Over the past 11 years, I have worked as a teacher and administrator, and during my time as an educator, I was introduced to trauma and how it affects an individual. When someone is dealing with traumatic, life-changing events, they go into the fight, flight, some people call the flight, flee, or the freeze mode. Medical news today explains that the fight, flight, or freeze response is how the body responds to perceived threats. It's involuntary, and it involves a number of psychological changes that help someone prepare to fight or to take action to eliminate the danger, to flight, which involves escaping the danger, or to freeze, which involves becoming immobile. I realized that my body resorts to the fight response. I have always been a fighter, not physically. My 2 sisters, Shelly and Lauren, can tell you I can't fight. And due to taking on that fight, I lost touch with my emotions. I went into survival mode, and I forgot what my heart's desires were. Social media has a way of reminding us of memories from years ago, some good, some bad. And recently I was scrolling through my Facebook memories and came across one that my heart needed to hear. It said, in order to accomplish goals in life, we first have to know what it is we desire. Then we have to figure out how to accomplish that goal. Once we know what our goals are, we have to create a plan to accomplish them. Goals and success are like road trips. No one can ever reach their destination if they don't plan out the routes they have to take. There are many detours, traffic jams, and even road closures. However, that does not stop or make us abort the trip. We can't give up because things get too hard or difficult. We have to persevere through whatever situations come our way. Don't give up, don't abort the mission, and don't let non-factors deter you from your dreams. As a youth dealing with a disabled father, the only goal I had was to make sure my mom and dad were safe. And during that process, I gained many important life skills. And one of the scriptures that I remember hearing all the time as a kid is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. I took that scripture to heart, and I knew that no matter the obstacle I went through, I would gain new skills to help me through life. This was making my heart muscle stronger. Failure, not an option. If one thing didn't succeed, that didn't mean I failed. It created another opportunity for me to find a solution. Failure occurs when you throw up your hands, you give up, and I had to find a new strategy and try again. Life skills and your heartbeat basically have the same task in life. The heart has to make sure that it has a regulated heartbeat. It has to keep the blood flowing throughout the body. And in order for that to happen, it has to have a strong muscle. With goals, timing is everything. You have to regulate the timing of the steps you take to reach your goals. If you're achieving your goals prematurely, there's a great possibility that you could fail, or the route you take will have several detours and delays. Things have to be done with the right timing in order for it to reach the greatness that you desire. Take a moment and ask yourself, do you know what your heart needs? Are you regulating your heartbeat? Are you keeping your heart muscle healthy? And are you keeping the blood circulating throughout your body? To keep things flowing efficiently, you have to make sure that the things that you give your time are the things that bring you joy. You have to be passionate in your endeavors. You can't be stagnant. Things should always be progressing. One of the ways that I keep things flowing efficiently in my life is doing what I am in love with. If I'm not passionate about it, if it doesn't keep me up at night, if it doesn't always stay on my mind, if it doesn't always spark interest in me, I no longer allow that to be a factor in my life. My heart is extremely full right now. I appreciate you taking time to listen to my story and how I came to realize that my heart requires different things at different times, and it has those things happening to maintain a healthy muscle. Take time throughout your day to check on the status of your heart. How regulated is your heartbeat? Is your heart muscle healthy? Are you keeping the blood circulating? I'm Nate, and you're listening to Vital Organs, paramount to the physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Until next time, I'll see you again.